All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mr. Rusty Hydra, and this is PoE 2. I've never really played Path of Exile before, um, but I have played quite a bit of Diablo. I've beaten all of them except for 4. I haven't played 4. It just didn't seem really like something that I wanted to play. Um, so I just didn't bother. But then I saw, and especially since I knew this was coming out, and this looks so much better. And it is. So I'm currently playing a Fire and Ice SRS build. SRS, if you guys don't know, stands for Summon Raging Spirits. Um, I've spent hours and hours and hours trying to figure out this build. Um, I've been trying different things, using different gems, using different support gems. And I think I finally have something that I really like. Helps me burn down bosses and especially mobs pretty quickly. The only thing that I don't like about this game is the one-shot mechanics. I think they're kind of bullshit, but it's part of the game. So, and I think a lot of that will be relieved once I have Blink because this dodge rolls are ridiculous. So what I thought I would do here is I thought I would show you guys a little bit of gameplay here. I would finish up my dungeon that I'm currently in. Almost done. I have a boss up here that I'm going to be fighting. I show you guys some of the gameplay, and then once I'm done the dungeon, I will show you guys. Once I'm done the dungeon, I'll show you guys the build and when I'm running. So, but for now, let's go fight this boss. Hopefully, I don't get killed by any of the one-shot mechanics. Hopefully, I'll be able to dodge them. But otherwise, let's go. Give it a shot. Boom. And just like that, he's dead. How about that? Yeah, so I got a small rotation. You don't really need the whole rotation on a bunch of mobs and shit, but it doesn't hurt. Lots of fire and brimstone. Something fell. What was that? Nothing. Okay. Okay, so there's basically two, three things that you really need in order to make this work appropriately. One is you're going to need a lot of spirit. So I have a staff here. Um, it's about my level. It gives me 138 spirit. This is something I got very early in the game. As you can see, it's level 7, but it grants me 50 spirit, but then it's also a lot of armor and energy shield, and increased block chance. So I've actually had this thing my entire playthrough almost, and it's been doing me wonders. I have a helmet here that gives me +2 to the levels of all of my minions. I have a ring that gives me an extra skill spot. I'm just not 100% sure what I want to do with this yet. I have an idea, but I'm just kind of, we'll see. If I had a little bit more spirit, I would have the frost shield. And then I found these gloves recently, level 16, but it gives me 100% increased spell damage, intelligence, and reduced casting speed. So these are absolutely amazing gloves, and I think everybody who's a sorcerer should use them. But the main thing really is going to be finding more spirit in order to make all of this work. Spirit's important. And then this is just my other gear. I don't have the greatest stuff, but I do have, it's all decent stuff. As for my skills, I did go, shoot, I did go um, with the Blood Witch. So I do have an Infernal Hound. This is going to take 20%. This is going to take 20% of my life, or of portion of a hit of hits that damage me. So if I get hit, that my guy will take 20% of that damage. And oh, I just leveled them up to have a 4th spot. That's new. Don't worry about my skeleton minions. I haven't got those. I was just figuring out my gems. I haven't put those back yet. Now, the main things that we're doing are these 4 things right here. This is what's going to be costing you all of that spirit. So I have 2 casts on minions' death, and I have blasphemy. So blasphemy, what this is going to do, and this is something you can't get until later game anyway, because you need a level 3 soul gem. But blasphemy is great because it's going to allow me to have my my curses. So they're always spinning around me. That's the thing you see here spinning around me. And that's just going to allow more damage to pass through to the enemies. But then I've also got 40% more area. Now, the only way to get 2 things going at the same time is you have to go here on your passive tree. And it's going to be this perk right here. Chaos Inoculation. Or, no, sorry. This one. You can apply an additional curse, double activation delay, but because they're always on me, it's really not a big deal. So I can apply both my fire and ice curses. Next is my Raging Spirits. Now again, this is super important. This is basically what runs all of my background stuff. So all of the things that I'm not having to manually do, it's running both of these things. So in order to get it to work properly, you kind of want them to take damage. This is the most important one right here. Infernal Legion. Minions from supported skills take 20% of their maximum life as fire damage per second. Right? So within 5 seconds, these guys are going to die. And then once you have about roughly 10 of these guys die, which is fairly easy, all of my cast on minion deaths will occur. I also have minions from supported skills explode when reduced to low life. So minions typically last for about 5 seconds anyway. So With this, they're taking low damage, and then after about 4 seconds, they explode. Right, so they're guaranteed to die. And then we just have they take more damage, but they deal more damage. Because again, it's all about killing these guys. We want these guys to die as quickly as possible. So when these guys do die, we're gonna get cast on minion death. Now, I love Contagion. I think it's amazing. If you don't have cast on minion death, I would definitely take this as a supporting charm, just because of the amount of actual damage it does, and then it spreads to other people, and it's just chaos damage is really good in this game. Obviously, you have to have Comet. Comet's huge. It's going to come down. Giant AoE just kills everything that's underneath it. Firestorm. This one's really good. It covers the whole screen. It kills basically everyone. It ignites people. And, yeah. Solar Orb. Only because I have a lack of better idea of what to do. I'm fire cold, and I want ground stuff, right? So I want my ground AoEs. So this is basically my from the sky AoE, and then these are my ground AoEs. So I've got Solar Orb, I've got Detonate Dead. This is huge. Things explode all the time. And then Profane Ritual. I'm not sure about this one so far. I mean, I like it and I don't. But again, I'm trying to do a little bit of chaos damage because chaos damage is really good in this game. I might switch this out later on, but I haven't really found anything that I would prefer to put in there. If you didn't want this one, you could also put in the Orb of Storms, which is like the lightning one. And then I'm pretty sure that gives lightning attacks as well to your stuff. But yeah. Now, my main attack here is Ember Fusillade, which is right here. Now, the thing with Ember Fusillade is most people don't like to use it because it has a cast time. So you have to sit there and charge it up. And then once it's charged, it takes 1.3 seconds to actually activate. So, you know, a lot of people are like, this isn't a great skill, what yada, yada, yada. I love this thing. This thing has been responsible for knocking down some of the biggest guys around, and it just helps me clear mobs so quickly. But the way I do that is by using some Spore Gel. So it has more cast speed, so this gives it more damage, and it makes it a little bit faster. Although I'm actually considering of moving this one, only because my next 2 gems pretty much take care of this for me. But you can see if I take it off, I do lose 300 DPS. But technically, I don't. Because with these 2 gems, there is no cast speed, right? So, Support Seals spells gain a seal every 200% of cast time. So a maximum of 2 seals. Support Seals are unsealed when they cast, blah, 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 blah. 50 less damage when reoccurring. I don't care about that. This thing is still massive. And then I also have Scatter Shot. So again, we're dealing 20% less damage, but we get 2 additional projectiles. Now, you're thinking, okay, well, you're losing all this damage. It can't really be all that good, right? Well, if I come back here, it's a little hard to tell because of my my back piece here. But all I have to do is tap the button once, and I have all of my charges. And the beauty of this is that this game, it really punishes you when you're trying to do combos, when you're trying to cast spells. If it takes a second in order to cast a spell, meanwhile the boss is attacking you every half a second, you're never getting any spells off. So what I can do is I can actually run around, push the button, and then just keep running, and it'll automatically shoot. I can dodge roll, and it'll keep it and fire. And then it's also activating my SRS. So as you can see, I had 10 minions die there. right? So it's activating and doing all of that stuff all at the same time. So I'll take the little bit of a hit on damage when really I'm not, because the amount of time, like if I have to sit there and charge this thing for 4 seconds and then shoot, charge it for 4 seconds, then shoot, charge, that's 5 seconds basically per shot. Meanwhile, I can cut that time in half or more, right? So I can get that 5 seconds down to 2 seconds. So I'm really attacking 2.5 times in the amount of time that the other one would be. So that's why I have it set up that way. I've tried just having one or the other, and then casting, sitting here and doing one of those, because really it's not that much longer. The fact that when you're dealing with bosses and you have to move around a lot, just being able to do it once is huge. Eye of Winter, this one's also really good. I have my cold turned up on my passive tree, which I'll show you here in a minute. But basically, it's just gonna attack everyone and everything. One really good thing you can actually put on this one, if you really wanted to, would be knockback, and it's insane. It pushes people back so far away from you, they'll never get close to you. Like 90% of even some of the bosses, it'll actually push back this thing. But instead, I have sports and skill that hits enemies. So when they're below 40%, or when they're below 35% health, it does 40% more damage. They pierce enemies, so then that way I can get a whole mob rather than just a guy in the front. And then more freeze build up, because I want to be freezing dudes. Because if they're frozen, it can't hurt you. Firewall or flame wall. This is not for damage, right? I don't use this for damage, but it's more of a supporting thing. It's more of a supporting thing, because anything that you shoot through it gains power. So if I put my Ember Fusillade through it, my bullets become stronger. If I put my Eye of Winter through it, it gets a little bit stronger. Oh, by the way, this Eye of Winter, you can also change this out for Frostbolt early game, because Eye of Winter you won't be able to get until later on, until you get a level 3 skill gem, or well, a higher skill gem anyway. You won't be able to get this, so you could also put that in Frostbolt. But I have 4 on my flame wall here, flame wall, whatever. They deal less damage from hits, but are created in a circle, right? So I get a nice circle effect that can surround, if I'm about playing against a boss or a group of enemies that surrounds them. Less area of effect, but it less damage. But then it also gives me 2 more rings of fire. So now I get 3 rings of fire, so I can fill up the whole area around me with fire. So no matter where I'm shooting, what I'm shooting, it's going to go through fire and it's going to increase my damage. And then lastly, consumes a random ailment and then adds 35% more damage to that ailment if it was consumed. And because people are constantly walking through my firewall and I'm constantly freezing them and putting ailments on them, this is big, and it actually does start doing more damage. Frostbomb. This is probably the second best thing after my Ember Fusillade. If you use this and Frostbomb together, you're going to have a really good time. It just deals a lot of cold damage, slows people down, that kind of stuff. And then removes 100% of your mana. Now, because I always have those little minions running around and floating around, my SRS minions, the Raging Spirits, it's going to consume one of them, but make it 40% more damage. And as you can see, I'm already at 2830, so this thing is pumping out a lot of damage. But not only is it at 2330, but then I also have it Echo. So it does it twice. So it'll go off twice essentially, making it twice as strong. This thing kills people. It's insane. But they have to be in the area for it, right? So this is great for like tight corridors, stuff like that. You get people together. And then less skill effect duration, because the main damage that it produces happens when it explodes at the end. So you want to quickly pulse through your things, so it's pulsing faster, it's hitting them more, and then it's going to explode faster. So you can, by the time it's done reactivating, because there's a 4-second delay, I believe, between when you activate it before you can activate it again. This pretty much lines it up with that, so it'll explode, and once it explodes, you can set it again. This right here, funny enough, is gotta be my favorite skill of all of them. This is something you can get very early on, and I highly recommend this for basically any build in the game. I don't care what you're running, who you're running. If you have an extra skill spot available, put on Bone Cage. It's just that simple. And the reason why you want to do this is because the amount of times I have had, and from what the reports I've heard of in the later on in the end game when we start doing mapping, is that enemies come at you like crazy. They come at you so fast. It's kind of insane. So one thing you can do is boom, boom. Now by doing that, it automatically pins any enemies and stops them the second they hit it. So if you see somebody running at you and they're charging at you, you put up your Bone Storm, and then boom, it's giving you like 4 seconds in order to do what you need to get away, to set up your stuff. And that's just going to help you huge. One thing I highly recommend that you put on it is 120 lockdown, 120% more pin buildup against enemies within 2 meters, scaling at no chance of 12. So again, these guys are getting close to you, so that's why you want to put this up, and it's just going to help them pin even longer. 40% more skill effect duration. Again, they're going to be pinned longer. That's the whole goal, is getting them pinned. And then because there isn't a lot of things that you can use with for physical damage anyway on a witch here, we're going to be using this one because it only deals physical damage anyway. It doesn't do any elemental or chaos damage, so we're going to put that in. So how this all works together, right? So what you're going to do is when you see a group of mob, right? You're going to put down your fire, then you're going to put down. So you're going to put down your flame wall, then you're going to put down your frost bomb, and then you're going to load up your ember fusillade. Well, you can actually do this first. So load up your ember fusillade, put down your flame wall, put down your frost bomb. By the time you put down your frost bomb, your ember fusillade will go off. Then you're going to load your ember fusillade again, and then you're going to hit them with I think it's 2 or 3 Eye of Winters. I believe it's 2. After 2 Eye of Winters, Ember Fusillade will be able to be made again. And then you're going to do Ember Fusillade, 2 Eye of Winters, Ember Fusillade, Flame Wall, Frost Bomb, Ember Fusillade, Eye of Winter, Ember Fusillade, Eye of Winter, Ember Fusillade, Flame Wall, Frost Bomb. And you're just going to keep doing that. And then that's going to be cycling and giving your minions enough time to die, so they're casting the cast on minion deaths. Yeah, so I'll show you. So you blow it up. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, flame wall, frost bomb. 1, 2, 1, 2, flame wall, frost bomb. And as you can see, things just proc and proc and proc and proc and proc. I got my flames coming down. I've got my...
Talk to the optimist again.
I've got my, my chaos damage. I've got my contagion going, because contagin's huge. You know, you can get a big group of guys full of contagion. They're going to go down super fast. I'm still working on what exactly I want to do with my proc on. Maybe there might be better skills that I just haven't tried yet but I don't know. So yeah. As for passives, we'll go over that really quick. Just because those are important. So to start, I went, I'm going all spell damage. I want to be strong. I don't care about my minions. My minions are a meat shield. I definitely do not want to add health to them because, again, I want my minions to die pretty quickly so I can get more procs. But I've got spell and minion damage, more spell damage, spell and minion damage, plus intelligence, spell and minion damage, and then I've got, critical hit chance for spells, physical damage, chaos damage, more chaos damage, more spell damage, and then we've got all of these ones in here: critical hit chance, spell damage, critical hit chance, bonus, critical hit chance. So we got all these. Increased cast speed, more mana regeneration, more mana, because this is very mana intensive. I'm going to be working on energy shield here because that seems to be the way to go for this build. I haven't really worried too much or needed it too much as of now, but once I get into mapping, that I'm sure that'll be important. More critical spell chance, so all spell stuff. We come over here, more spell damage, right? And then we're going to keep going up. More spell damage. Keep going up. I got a jewel, just had to put one in here. And again, critical hit chance. So we want to be doing lots of crits, that kind of shit. Down to the left here. Increased physical damage. Spell hit. Increased damage. Critical hit. Magnitude of damage. So all critical spell damage stuff over here. I like freezing people, and I wasn't freezing people fast enough. So I went cold damage first before I went fire damage. I know that once I hit this, I'm going to have a big boost to damage. So I'm just kind of waiting until the point where I need it. As you can see, I got a passive point I still have left to spend. But I got my cold damage. This is the main thing I wanted right here, was the 40% increased freeze buildup and increased freeze duration. Because again, with the 50% increase on freeze damage on my Eye of Winters, plus the 40%, I got a 90% increased freeze buildup rate, more freeze buildup, and then +1 level to all cold skills. I don't really think I'm going to be doing any of this. I might later on once I have more skill points, but again, I'm just going straight for the damage. Increased cold damage. Again, we need Whispers of Doom so we can have the two curses going at the same time. Spell crit chance, crit damage. More intelligence. This is important. You're going to need it in order to use some of your higher skills. I'm currently working on increased duration. So that's going to be my my next thing right here, is increased spell effect duration. I want my things lasting longer. The longer they last, the better. Except for the Frost Bomb. But even if this does increase it, I still have that thing on my Frost Bomb to make it lower. I am also doing this. Spell damage. Or projectile speed. I might do this in the future, but I don't think so, because the additional projectiles don't work essentially with the with Ember Fusillade, or really with Eye of Winter, because Ember Fusillade only gives a maximum of 10. I'm already getting them the first time. So this is essentially 6% chance for spell skill to fire 2 additional projectiles. I'm basically already getting this with Scatter Shot, but I'm sacrificing 20% of my damage in order to have more likelihood, because 6, 12, 18% to maybe fire an additional. So I don't know if I'm having to charge it, for 1 second or 3 seconds. It's just not reliable enough. So I'm just not using it. And then I will be doing this one actually. Increased spell damage and projectile speed for spell skills. Again, we're gonna be doing that. I probably won't touch any. Oh, oops. Reduced projectile speed. Whatever. I have a whole bunch of added projectile speed. I want the spell damage. Moving on down here. I'm kind of thinking about doing this. I really have to like set up for it, because the only thing that I'm really gonna have to worry about is making sure that I have a ton of energy shield and that I never get hit by poison. Poison and something else, because it gets right through. And the reason I went this way was, again, I'm looking for that increased critical hit chance, right? And then I'm also going to go a little bit into my chaos damage. And then I believe once I have this done, then I'm going to go back up and I'm going to start doing the fire stuff. I'm not 100% sure. Oh, wait, no, here we go. Cast speed. And then area of effect. These are going to be huge too. So I'm probably going to do this set first. And then I'll add a little bit more chaos damage. And then I'm going to come back over here and start working on my fire. Yeah. Unless I start dying a lot, once I get into mapping, and then I'm going to be working on my energy shield. So essentially this is the route that I've taken. I'll just kind of sit here, you guys can see. Yeah, I went through the middle. And then I'm just doing all of the stuff at the top. And then for those who want to know, these are my my stats. They're not the greatest stats. I've seen lots better at this point. This isn't the best build in the world. I know that there are betters out there, especially at my level, that kind of stuff. But for me, and my play style, I really like it. They're like, I just 1, 2, 1, 2. And it just lights everything up. So yeah, this has been my my Fire Ice SRS Blood Mage build. Oh, I guess I should show you real quick what I've done for my Ascendancy. I did go Blood Mage. I'm going to be able to earn, I believe, 4 more points. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go this way. I'm going to go cold damage taken as fire damage, lightning as fire, physical is chaos. And then I believe I'm going to go this way. +1 maximum spirit for 25 maximum life. I'm going to go this way because I want more spirit. I think spirit's important. And then if I do get more spirit, then my last skill spot there, because I have that extra one, I will go back to using the skeletal arsonist. And then my skeletal, and then I'll have a couple of them going. Either that, or I'm going to run the cold shield, the ice shield, whatever it's called. Yeah, so, but yeah, that's my build. I hope you guys like it. Give it a shot, Again, it's going to cost you a lot of spirit, but if you can get set up with it, you can do a hell of a lot of damage. So, my name's Mr. Rusty Hydra. This has been PoE 2, and and I'll see you guys in the next one. I think once I start actually mapping, I'll start streaming. I'm just gonna finish the campaign here. Everybody's seen the campaign, um, or a lot of people have, and there's probably better people to watch if you want more of the campaign experience. So once I finish Act 3 here and I start mapping, I'll probably start live streaming, and you guys can ask me questions on whatever you want. So, all right, thanks, guys. See you in the next one. Peace.